Luby gold might be in here. I know, she totally. I'll get back. Seriously. That's good. How's yours? Not good.
I had the beer up to the rafters.
And he keeps saying the beer.
Down the other day. And he was like,
He's got a problem.
I almost fell on the way down.
No roots here, guys.
Yep.
This is
Watch out behind it, Carter.
Xander, wait.
But how did they think that?
I don't know.
Well, I'm glad everybody's here for Mary Luby's burial. This is the perfect setting for her. It's exactly what she wanted. Grammy prepared like a true hospice professional. Grammy prepared. She got this beer, this wooden beer that she wanted to be carried in on. She got 5 years ago. She wrote her obituary at least 10 years ago. And you guys picked out this beautiful location. It's got to be 7 or 8 years ago. So Grammy was prepared and knew what she wanted, and this is exactly it. So I'm really glad you guys came. I really appreciate it. Everyone I think knows we're having a memorial service, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. If you don't have the information of the time and the location, let us know afterwards and we'll get it to you. And I think that's the time when we're going to do a lot more talking. And I think now I just wanted everybody to have an opportunity to say something if they wanted to. I think Grammy would really like it when she's in her grave, if everybody could put a hand in the dirt. I think that would be nice.
And a flower.
Yeah, and a
That's
flower.
what the flowers are
Perfect. So I have a poem. I'm going to try and get through this. It's Emerson, and it was taped to Grammy's bathroom mirror. And I always loved this poem. I've copied it, I've read it many times, I've sent it to many friends. But it's what she would read at the end of a long day. And it helps her kind of reset. And I think it's appropriate for the end of a life. But it says, finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities have crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it serenely and with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense. And I think that fits a lot about Grammy's hopes for all of us, and I think how she hopes for us. If anyone has anything they want to say, or anything they want to read, nobody has to. Yeah, sure.
Will you stay here with me?
I will.
That poem is what I've been thinking about the last year that Mom has been close to me geographically, the year and a half. I think she had let go of a lot of stuff that she felt maybe was nonsense. And one of the things that she would do every day when I come see her is I'd put my arm around her and I'd say, "Hi, Mom," and she'd turn to me with the most happy, warm, beautiful smile. It was strikingly relaxed and okay, you know. She just would glow. So, thank you for just have another poem. It's called It Is Enough by Anne Alexander Bingham, and it reminds me of what we're doing today. To know that the atoms of my body will remain, to think of them rising through the roots of a great oak, to live in leaves, branches, twigs, perhaps to feed the crimson peony, the blue iris, the broccoli, or rest on water, freeze and thaw with the seasons. Some atoms might become a bit of fluff on the wing of a chickadee, to feel the breeze, know the support of air, and some might drift up and up into space, stardust, returning from whence it came. It is enough to know that as long as there is a universe, I am part of it. I thought that was just...
I love the Stardust reference. Grammy loved that thing. We're all Stardust. It was the screensaver on our computer, and the girls, Grammy lived downstairs from us, and the girls would look at that and they would ponder that. And then Grammy would kind of explain it to them, and it was a great mystery, but I think it's just part of her approach. Yeah, her approach.
Well, and I tried to find Barb Harrington, because Barb Harrington is the one that taught us that at Christmas Spring. And she taught about that everything comes from stardust. And she did a lot of children's things. Yeah.
It's nice we've got people from a lot of different parts of Grammy's life. Way back, I'm looking at Carol. This is way back in the Rentham Plainville days. And Carol's mom, Hilly, was one of Grammy's closest friends.
May I say something?
We've got friends from...
Of course you may.
Yeah, of course.
I just first want to thank you all for allowing me to be part of this. So, I love Mary like I love my own mom. I think she really saved my mom's life because my mom lived in a very conservative town. She had a daughter in college when Kent State students were killed by the National Guard. And it was like worrying about the Vietnam War and civil rights and women's issues were festering, but that brought it to the surface and she couldn't let it go anymore. And most of the community was not very supportive of her, and she reached out to her minister and said, what can I do? Is there anything happening? And he said, I don't know. And he gave her the name of a minister in Rentham, Paul Spenfire. And she called Paul. Paul said, I don't know, but I know a woman who would know if there is anything. And Mom called Mary. And Mary said, well, I think there's a march happening in the Boston Common today. Now, you didn't see my mother was almost blind in one eye and really didn't like to drive. My mom said, would you like to go? I'll pick you up. And she drove the two of them into Boston for their first of many demonstrations together. And Boston, New York, Washington, Providence, all over. And they were like soul sisters, and they worked for, women's rights, peace, civil rights, all these environmental rights, all these good causes. And I think that Mary is one of those people that positively touches every community that she's part of. Whether it's her family, and I look around and it's like, wow, what wonderful people she brought into this room. Her legacy will continue for you all. And I think of all the organizations. My sister, my dad went through hospice in their last days. I think of and it was actually the hospice organization that Mary, she started that, didn't she? Yeah. And it was almost like full circle, but kind of, yeah. So anyway, thank you, Mary. I love you.
Beth, I'm thinking
Carol,
I
just want to add one thing, Carol. The story goes that when your mom called for the very first time and introduced herself, she said, hello, my name is Hilly, and my daughter's, I think it might have been a hippie, And I'm proud of it. And they were friends forever after that.
You know what it was?
What was it?
Richard Nixon had called the college students bums. And she said, I'm the proud daughter of a bum. I actually recorded this telling, I can't remember if it was Eddie or John, that in the video my sister made from my mom's service, there's a short message that Mom recorded the last few months of her life of meeting Mary for the first time, and I put a video clip of that on there if any of you want to hear that later.
Oh, that would be great.
Definitely.
Yeah. Beth, I was thinking about how you go back to the beginnings of that Rentham Peace movement and continue with my mom all the way through up to Portland, and
That original 5 of us who did the Peace March in Rentham.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how many of you know that we actually got investigated by the FBI. And I wasn't one, but several of them were actually visited by 2 FBI agents who switched the interviews. We were freaked. But then we became kind of proud of it. So I've been investigated by the FBI, and so did your mom.
My mom did not brag unless it was about her kids or her grandkids or things like that. She didn't brag about herself, but she did brag about that. She would drop the FBI bomb on everybody she met, like quickly, like, oh, and I was investigated by the FBI. She would always say, I have a folder. I've always wanted to get the folder.
She requested.
Yeah.
There was a wire, like a telephone wire from pole to pole that went from our house. It was red. Went from our house all the way down the street to the Perry's, and he was like, I forget if he was a policeman or what he was, but my mom always thought
He was a fireman.
he was a fireman.
Those firemen.
I'm sure it had nothing to do with her at all. But
Yeah.
I'll just say I'm feeling a lot of things, but really grateful to Grammy for showing me, and I think all of us, what it is to just complete a life. She lived her life so fully, and she was, as Mary said, so ready for this, in the logistical ways, but also in the sort of internal, personal, spiritual ways. She talked about it. We made fun of her for how much she talked about it, but it's so, I don't know, it's just beautiful. There are so many ways that death can feel like a loss, but this just, feels like coming to a beautiful completion, and I'm so grateful for her that she's teaching me about that. I love you, Grammy. I'm grateful for you for teaching me so much, taking care of me, taking care of all of us. Yeah. And I feel like she's been coaching me and us through this process too. This whole, the past few weeks, every time I'm sad, I can hear what she would be saying. It's okay to cry, but it's also, don't make too much of a fuss about me. She's in there helping us all through this. So.
but she secretly really loves the bus.
I know. She's like, woo.
Ellen wanted a poem to be read since she couldn't be here, and Janaya has so gracefully offered to read it.
Good job, Janaya.
So,
Thank you.
if anyone else wants to say something, Ellen, of course, a lengthy poem, but very beautiful. So Janaya's going to read it.
An ode to MGM, Mom, Grammy, Mary. War is not healthy for children and other living things, was her mantra and her rally cry. Pennies for Bifra on the fridge, wonder bread we did not buy. A fierce advocate for the earth and its people, large and small, she spread her care and attention with a net that was capacious. From Vietnam to Nicaragua, she believed in justice for all. Another mother for peace, a woman in black, savior, her superlative stretching of time brought her countless stories to tell. She did not see her life pass a straight line, rather as a spiral. A one-way living journey, continually expanding or contracting in response to what life offers or brings. When we gaze up at the swirling Milky Way on a clear summer night, or stumble upon a scarlet Nautilus shell along the sea shore, we spot a little garden snail slowly making its way through the starry green moss. May we remember Mom, Granny, Mary, and listen sweetly while her spirit sings.
Good job, Josiah.
That's great.
And you know, the reference to women in black, I'm so glad we have a representative.
We have two.
We have two.
Yes. Here, behind.
Oh my gosh.
I don't qualify.
Well,
He gave me a
Oh, fabulous. You know, I actually think I recognize you from the people on the corner, but I'm really grateful you guys came. That was a super important group to my mom.
Thank you for
Real
allowing us.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, now it's the next step to Stardust, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we'll ask our folks to put Grammy in her grave where she can start that journey, okay? And then if people are okay with it, I did kind of want everyone to just put a little handful in. Once again, she liked the fun.
Do we throw them on her?
Yep, you can throw them right on her. Yeah, I know. All right, good job, you guys. You want to put that first? I will. Good job, Heather. Good job. Go ahead, Felix. You want to throw some dirt?
Why is it white on the bottom? Why is it?
Let's give somebody else a turn now.
Come here. I just don't want you to fall in. Come on right through. There we go. Good job, you guys. Good job.